Chumden de Gombon Jahorayan La Shan Za Lo Gango Lodrö Jimye Jimjani da Namda Razar Shenyen Dongo Jirja Zujirani Dagara Lawanza Ganda de Be Zora Marg Mando Demra Jizar Dozo Ganla Waju Darje Yala Dubje Andan Song Dutraji Donyo Monya Loli Jizaro Domzach Maru Mazir Dungurum Yaga Jenny Jomzara Junam Doni Danjang Sapchin Dazo Yundali Yaji Duga Jadab Jadab Jenny Yanjim Dalu Mazir Jahurayan Landada Umara Bazanada 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 Tudun Jijin Jero Zirji Dalu Damam Barazan Quadan Damju Jolu Domai Lodrö Bubi Nawa Jeda Sor Nyarji Chimbo Zudun Nyume Jan Zone Molum Chimbo Ngajata Pagara Darngan Zandu Jermado Dumba Diji Janla Shanzar Lo Ta Terang Matsundana Yopi Tani Jukpachu Suko Tani Lomana Batam Chitang Tani Gato Poba Yang Mambozundu Tani Tamchela Gongmo Delakan Samjijin.
Good evening to everyone who is gathered here tonight, all the Rigpa students and also the Tibetans who have come along too.
Tani tari nga tang jiba tani Rigpa Chutsukona la Yongbare tani tangbo seni la tani Rigpa Chutsukona la song tani tang niba tani Canberra la yang tani Rigpa Chutsukona la song tani yang kirtalo yang tani sini ga tani Rigpa Chutsukona la song tani tarin tani tang jiba yin.
This evening is actually my fourth time to give a teaching at a Rigpa Centre. The first time was last year in Sydney, and then this year I had a chance to give teachings in the Canberra Rigpa Centre and then at the Sydney Centre again. So tonight here in Newcastle is my fourth time.
Tani Rigpa Chutsukona tani lama sogirimbo cheda tani nga tso lama yujin noro tani kong namba halipa tengnang nipore.
Sogyur Rinpoche and my root guru, my teacher, Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok, were very close in their minds.
Tani tendi yimbi jimtsenji nga tso Rigpa Chutsok tani zambalanga sacha kaala yo na yang tani nga rang tso yang tela gabuche yo.
So for this reason, wherever we go and we encounter or we meet with a Rigpa Centre and its students, we feel very happy.
Tani muksar ka jigo wachigla nga tso Rigpa Chutsok tani sacha jamba tang mandrawa cheni sacha ndela yopi Rigpa Chutsok tani nga tso sangne la yongkang ka tani poba tso ka tani chu nyaya ta tani tsokban tso ya ta tsuto la muksar ka tani pe gyapkyur chimbo nanganda tani pe nyang taba ne kwadan chi jigo.
And there's something special about the Rigpa Centre here in Newcastle that I'd like to mention, and that is the support that's given by the centre to the local Tibetan community who are able to come here and conduct their activities and conduct their Dharma practice. And I would just like to give my sincere and heartfelt thanks for the support that Rigpa is giving to the local Tibetan community.
Tani nga tso poba nzambo lang na yo susu la tani poba mangbo tani tani jamni taga dendu yinna yang kozo changma tani chuluk la taba pe yakbo yungkan tani tagdare nga tso poba yin sardi chu jibna tani jib samkan yungkan tani tagdare yinna yang tani ta sacha dewa la tani poba tso sargaton tani reyongdi tani chusuk ta tso yakbo meni tani chu jib saga tani sacha te yakbo zi gana yinna yang yungkan mandu.
In general, there are Tibetans now all around the world gathered in communities, and we are a people of great faith, and in general, Tibetans are very keen to practice the Dharma. However, given the fact that in many places there aren't appropriate Dharma centers or conditions for practice, there in fact are many Tibetans who don't practice the Dharma or don't come to Dharma centers to do so.
사천 대화라 옛날 때니 보바츠 르바 추소코나라 용네 돈반도야 로종시야 다소 약보용디 되니 고조라 베 약보용근도 고조 셈페 가근도 때 옛날 때니 가서 문터니 된디 그 잡교로 나와라 되니 과정치 문터니 잡교 나오르지.
So that the Tibetan community here in Newcastle can come here, they can do chanting, they can study. I thank you very much for the support that's been given up until now, and hope very much that this support can be ongoing.
Teni tonda nipala ta ngarang so derang ga chutete teni da chisha kare teni nga so derang ga chutusha bandi teni lama yujnoro teni sunga teni tiftum lai ngada zero teni tando teni samala teni marjure.
The topic of this evening's teaching is the Victory Doha, the sound of the celestial drum by Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok.
Teni nga so chutu chukta shekala teni nga so chutu shakare teni di oto teni chutu shekaza ka nangla teni nga so zhwa zhelun shene teni chutu ko samlo jiri teni shekare.
So I'd like to give a teaching for about 1.5 hours this evening, and then reserve about half an hour for questions you might have.
Tani nga so mi mangboz nafshogla tani tanga so tani poker tani lama chashul tani lama zangshu lama angtangbo ti so tani nga so zambalang tani sacha mangboz la tani par jamsongwares.
To the Tibet's greatest lamas, Tibet's finest lamas, you could say, are scattered all around the world.
Tani tendi yimbi jimsenji tani ta chechoye na ten zamalanga sharshogre chabardan nurshogla tani Yoruburi America rin da so na la yongken me mambo tani nga so Australia la ta tang da bore tani checho nga so popa lama tani angtangbo te so tani yesuso go tani tenyata tani korang so gonde ni wangjia chezia tani ga tani korkape yakbo mambo thoyare.
And so for this reason, students in other countries, in Asia, but particularly in the West, particularly in America and in Europe, and also here in Australia, students like yourselves have the opportunity to receive empowerments and to receive teachings from some of the finest teachers of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And to rely on such teachers in your Dharma practice is a really wonderful opportunity to have.
Tane perna gacho lo kashi lo ni gongla tane agong rinpoche tane ndene tane korang la jiden tane oksfor la tane korang la jiden ga tane tsongde tane jin tsoksong ti tokla tane korang ga zambalang ga tane te loma mambo lebndu.
A couple of years ago, when Agong Rinpoche passed away, there was a memorial meeting or a memorial conference that was held in Oxford, and many of his former students gathered at this conference.
Tani jiden ti tola tani ngarang yang tani rojire song tani ti kaps tani kozo loma mambo yari yone te mambo zu kaja shasong tani kaja ti sola tani nyangi tani ngarang la tani korkup shongsongs.
And during the conference, many students spoke about their experience in being students of Agong Rinpoche, and I had the chance to hear what they said.
Tani loma ti so mang chi shu tani ta korang so Agong Rinpoche tani tenni lama tenni tani lo ngapjiin lo jibjiin tani lo sumshiin tani zenken takdak jendus.
And most of them all gave accounts of how they had been students of Agong Rinpoche for 30 years, 40 years, and even 50 years.
Tani koso tendi yin rambo chigo nangla tani te lama chik teni tani lojong she ne tani samba chik tola tani lama chik la tani ta teni taba jane tani lojong she ne yin rambo tendi parchir message po de tinala de lama chik tini tindi tapa tambo shini tini de dendos.
These were students who had essentially relied on this single teacher for their entire lives, reposing their faith in him, studying with him, and practicing with him in an extremely stable way.
Tani nipa danga so America la tani yang zhongba rinpoche ga tani loma tani mambola yang athusong.
And then last year I also had the opportunity to meet with many of the former students of Trungpa Rinpoche.
Tani korang so tarta yena tani koso mangboz tani ta lo trikchi, lo dunchi, tana tani lo pyachi tani rizangan tani riz.
And now many of these students are 60 or 70 or even a few 80 years of age.
Tani zhongba rinpoche tani ndene tarta yang tani yang rambore charsonga riz.
Of course, it's been a long time now since Trungpa Rinpoche passed away.
Yenang korang pe taba tsangmala tani taba halipa ga taba korang so lamala gawa tang taba tati so pe halipa kozo la tarung duks.
However, their love and their faith for their teacher is still extremely strong.
Tani korang so zina nga so tangbo lama ga lorgi sha ne tsama gajak jab ne tani shi tani sha tsari jini yang tsama ngu chima tang tani shi go yoze kozo tari zegandus.
And they were all students, when they told stories about their teacher, they would end up crying and shedding tears.
Tani ti nang la korang zhongba rinpoche ga tani loma yang rambo tani shi dengen ga tani gabo tani gargi tani shingdus.
And there was one man in particular who had been a student of Trungpa Rinpoche for a very long time.
Tani korang ga kyum ni par korang ka leka lesa korang ka zhongli khang la paran rogo na tani lamka zhonglum ka na la lamka khachi gin ni tini rogo ndus.
And in order to get from his home to the place where he worked, it was necessary to go to wind around a few streets.
Tani ko ngama tini korang lo chung chung imbi kapsu korang ka lama yobi kapsu tani korang lamka tina la paran rogi kapsu kapsu tini zhongba rinpoche ka tini langkhor tang ni gyamne yongne tini korang la lakda chini tini chini rogo resi.
And sometimes when he was younger and when Trungpa Rinpoche was still alive, as he would be going along the road, Trungpa Rinpoche would be behind him and he would wave to him.
Tani zhongba rinpoche ndeni yang rambo tini rete yenna yang tarung yenna tarta yang tini ko kapsi tini di lamka te solan rovi kapsi tani korang ka sem ka nala chi marki banda ta mare banda tini mambo yongwi kapsi tani korang kapsi korang ka zhongba rinpoche jamne langkor tangne yongne te korang la lakba iwanda o tini ka nangwa korang yonggandu te yongdi te korang ka sem ka nane di mare banda o ta dungar nrada te marga wa ta marki patsama lamsang menro undugzi tini zegandus.
And what he said was that even these days when he drives along the road, or sometimes when he's feeling down, he's feeling a bit despondent, he recalls those memories of when Trungpa Rinpoche was coming from behind him, driving a car and waving to him, and in recalling these memories, in an instant his bad feelings and his despondent feelings dissolve. He feels this way even after so many years.
Tani kerang soyang ne muschiri chiri logi hago yo mare se mare te yenayang pena te sorjeron boche tani ta napshok la pevni pe yen ramburi te indi tani rupa chusok yang ta logi ramburi ndu te yenna tani ketsu yang mang chi shu te parchi sorjeron boche la tene yen rambo tindi yung yo sares.
I'm not sure about the individual backgrounds of everybody here, but I would guess that most of you are students of Sodyo Rinpoche. Sodyo Rinpoche has been coming to the West and coming to Australia for some time now, and I would imagine that many of you are long-term students of his.
Tani mangchi shute tani kochon rawo tani pe taba yakbo yongken masimpar tambo yongken muschigla taba jangne tani korang yendaman da tela samlo tane te denken tani 인사레스 제초양 망보스 딘디 인지레스.
And I would imagine that many of you are extremely stable and extremely focused in your faith in Sogyur Rinpoche, that you are also stable students, just like the one that I described, Trungpa Rinpoche's former student.
Tani pe yakbore스 다 ngacho 딘디 ngacho 어디니 상학하드 냠린 생근가 로마다 캬버도 조바진보 냠린 생근가 로마제야디 딘디스 고그레스.
And indeed, to be a student of the Vajrayana teachings, and especially to be a student of the Dzogchen teachings, it's necessary to be a student with a stable kind of faith like this.
딘디 그티니 타바 담보 딘디 약보요나 딘디 ngaran chogo 딘디 조바진보 돈제야디 딘디 똑그레스.
With a kind of faith like this, or with the kind of faith like this, then it's possible for us to realize the nature or realize the truth of reality in the Dzogchen teachings.
딘디 인디 ngesamlo tangna ngacho 딘디 납쇼komma tsangma 딘디 제세 gona 제 kabore jete ta mi mambuzuk 딘디 jendu 딘디 tena 딘디 nguni tangna yongsona 딘디 zogbachimboziate tobalaya kable go mares.
So whilst perhaps I can't say that all Western students are like this, it seems that certainly an element of Western students are like this. And if they do possess this faith, then indeed to attain realization in the Dzogchen teachings is not a difficult thing. It's something we are capable of doing.
Tani ngacho terang jigba tani lomata kabdachi bayen tani kongcho mi mangboz tani nimar jela tani titsu jiri nyamlinche andada tani mi mangboz tani yar lerbolan lanjone tani lojongche tan chamla de tani mangboz jende te pe hale ba yagbores.
So today I was speaking with some old students of Rigpa, and they were telling me about how many students had or do practice for up to 4 hours per day, and that many students also travel to Lerabling to receive teachings. These are all extremely good things.
Tani ngacho perna sarik bandra sanyiru babandra 딘디 그티니 코르텔라 페나가 저 타반단데 저치트 페나 라말라 타파타 딘디 카르체레즈나 직시나 데네 과랑초 딘디 마레삼나 데네 스크레스 제테 있나요 나랑초 딘디 조바침보 딘디 돈 토발랑오니 짱니 타바지아데 페 카르치슈 할레바 카르치슈레스.
So if we're talking about great thinkers or figures such as scientists or philosophers, well, they may in fact be great in their respective fields, but in terms of the Dzogchen teachings, faith in the teacher, faith is extremely important.
Tani lama ziyate pena ngarang chola tani tarwi lamtungkan tani korwa nani yar tarwa thob tarwi lamtungkan tani ngarang chola nyarji mepala nyarji kia tani sherab mepala sherab kia tani shenkan mo tani zola zege yore tani ngarang chola chona pe kwadran chimbo ina res ngacho mi soso lam chona soso lama de hal lepa tani kwadran chimbo tani yengres.
So a lama, or our teacher, our guru, is someone who shows us the path out of samsara, is someone who assists us in generating bodhicitta when we don't have it, who's someone who assists us in increasing wisdom when we don't have it to begin with. And so on account of this, we should feel great gratitude towards our teacher. And it's said in the Vajrayana teachings that we should look upon our teachers as though they were the Buddha. It's possible that our Lama may be an emanation of the Buddha, may have a level of realization equal to that of the Buddha. On the other hand, it's possible that they may not have realization of such a high level.
Tani kang taryang sangye ge yishi, tani sangye ge gongba, sangye ge tani tawa da desu tanjipo mar keroni ngarang tso ge semnang la mar tani junkende kang tar ngarang tso lama tere mato jamba yo mares.
In any case, the person or the individual who brought the Buddhist wisdom brought the Buddhist wisdom to us and placed it in our heart. Aside from our Lama, there is no other.
Tani sangye ge gongba, zogba chimbo ge tawa, te kanri rawore penda sangye ge tawa da, tani zogba chimbo ge tawa zina, gongba zina, te kanri rawore zina perna, tani nga tsu chin tongje ge chimzut rawore si shui ku, chimzut rawore si.
So we can liken the Buddhist teachings or the Dzogchen teachings to a reservoir.
Tani nga tsu lama gipa zine, tani nga rang tsu susurang ge tsayu lama, tani ti yanchul la, susurang ge tsayu lama te mayimbi, ti yanchul la gipi lama zita lama mambu yore tani. Teso pe na nga tsu chimzut ge nani mari yongwi chigar wako rawores.
And the lamas in our teacher's lineage, so all the past masters that have gone before, from our current lama right back through to the very beginning of the lineage, we can liken to a pipe linking the reservoir to us.
Tani chimzo kana la chiyo, tani chirbu nani mar yongne, ta ngarang tsogo tani kyamnang la lep sarti, tani kyamnang la yongwi chida tani nga tsu ta parkorja chir bungchi sui longto, or bungchi ten rabote tani ngarang susogo tsawi lama teres.
So if the teachings of the reservoir and the past masters of our lineage are the pipe, then our own lama is like the faucet or the tap from which we get the water ourselves in our own homes.
Tani susogo nga tsu susogo lama te ngarang tsota tani tak nishu teres.
And so our own lama is the most proximate, the most close to us.
Tani pena nga tsu terang sangye shakya daba, ngarang tsu ungus tani nga tsu sangye shakya daba mukitaya tani ga karwa yonayang, tani sangye nga tsu la tani tarwa tobya ga tabshidi kandi chigare sangye nga tsu la chu songare, tani chu de ngarang tsu nyamlin chena de ngarang tsu tarwa tobkare ma to jamba, sangye ungus pebyona ngarang tsu kage to jamba chu cheya yo mares.
In any case, we don't currently live in a time where we can see the Buddha in face to face. However, the Buddha left us with the Buddhist teachings, and it is up to us to put them into practice ourselves.
Tani ngarang tsola samlo tangna, tani sangye ge lega de, tani sizg lega yore zina sangye shakja taba korang ge ngarang tsola sangye ge tani lega de lega yo mare zi, tani ngarang tsola tani ge sonam chenpo mepi jimsanji, tani nga tso sangye tani jetab ge mare. Tani sangye ge lega nrawo te, tani sig lega yore zina, ngarang tso lama ti nga tsola sangye ge lega de nga tso lega yore, sangye ge shawa te, tani nga tso lama ti nga tsola lega yore.
So the activity of the Shakyamuni Buddha, we don't have the good fortune in this lifetime to be able to hear his teachings by his side. However, in respect of us, the person who is achieving his function or who's performing the work of the Buddha in our lifetimes is none other than our own very Lama.
Tani shirtang nga tsugo tani chu tani chatat rawoda, tsugo nala tani ngarang tsu ti lama la tapa te pe karchim borezi ni tani zega marezi mambo nga tsu zega mezi.
In terms of ordinary teachings, we don't often talk about the importance of having faith in the teacher.
Tani pena rikpa chusok rawon tani ga tani nyamlin, nguni tani nyamlin da tin nangni yang nga tsu zogba chimbola nyamlin chenken, tsugo nangla tani nga tsu lama la tapa chiya te pe karchim borezi ni tani nga tsu tani zega rezi.
However, in terms of a place like Rigpa, which is oriented quite strongly towards practice, then in this context we do talk about the importance of faith in one's teacher, and we stress very much its importance.
Tani sorgyaram boche samlo tangbayin na, Teni koranga rikpa chusuk nala gawa sona ya chikban rawa rendu teni koranga lama tsangma ga teni kabar tsangma teni shini shamdu was.
If we think about Soju Rinpoche, wherever you go, wherever you visit a Rigpa center, he has displayed pictures of other great masters.
Tani Soju Rinpoche koranga chusuk nala teni lama tsogo parmangpo mangpo kabar mangpo jakba te chikburi mendukze nga tso akusufala korangla chutuksongze koranga langkor ka nangla ti ngola parteni koranga lama tsama par tsama jerni jakjandukze te keronzo hako yukiris.
It's not just in his Dharma centers that he displays the photos of past masters. When I met him in Oxford, he also had pictures of his lamas stuck onto the dashboard of the front of his car. He had sort of turned his car into a kind of shrine. So that way, whenever he's sitting in his car, he can look at the pictures of his lamas, think of them, and pray to them. So when we rely on our lama and through relying on them, attain some kind of realization of a view, then automatically within us a sense of strong gratitude arises towards them. In Tibetan history, in the history of Tibetan Buddhism, there was a great master that all of you no doubt know, Jia Atisha. He was an extraordinary master and one that everyone holds in very great esteem. And Atisha himself had many, many teachers.
Lama mambuti so nangni teni koranga shangship ji sim shamdang nyang ji shangship ko sim ji sha ga teni lama sim yore tinani so de teni serlang ba je gare nga so dharma kirti je gare te korang res.
And among all of those teachers, there were 3 who had given him teachings on bodhicitta. And among those 3, there was one in particular, Dharmakirti. And he at that time dwelled in Indonesia. And Atisha, by spending a long time practicing by the side of Dharmakirti, was able to arouse a very strong, a very high level of bodhicitta.
Tani jima choji adasha pola yongine kamna tani koranga lama shirtang choji tani korang lama chogo tani lama chola tani pe tapa haliba tani shenkan tani rezi timbi kapsa pena koranga cho te lama dharma kirti mayimba lama jamba chogo tani channi jodna tani lama tisogo mang la tani zona te korang dharmo jar kares.
In generally speaking, Atisha was extremely respectful of all of his teachers, not just Dharmakirti's. Whenever he would mention the name of another teacher, he would bring his palms together in a gesture of respect. For he would usually bring his hands together at his heart. He wouldn't bring them to the top of his head.
teni lama dharma kirti ge teni chan jona teni ko lamsang thap laba ni bo shiwor la teni tharmo ja kare.
However, when he spoke of Dharmakirti, then he would bring his hands together immediately to the crown of his head.
Tani lama jamba te chogam chandi jona ko mukchu tang ga mare shanchip tang ga mare.
And the other teachers that he had, although he felt great respect for them, he wouldn't shed tears when he mentioned their name.
Tani lama dharma kirti teni chan la jona teni ko namgin shanchip teni tongare.
However, when he spoke of Dharmakirti, he quite commonly shed tears.
Tani korang ga loma chogo teni joje adashala trawa kondu se teni korang ga lama kashi lana korang ga thammo nyaka la jar kondu kashi lana shuo la jar kondu teni kashi lana shanchip tonggo mandu kashi lana shanchip tonggo teni kare re gimsan kare re te lama te so kashi pe yundan chimbo da kashi de tindi yundan chimbo mepa tindi rewe se korang ya trawa kondu.
And so several people asked him, why is it when you talk of some teachers, you bring your hands together at your heart, and when you speak of Dharmakirti, you bring your hands together at the top of your head? And why is it that sometimes you cry and other times you don't? Is this depending on the qualities or lack of qualities in respect of both teachers or the different teachers that you've had?
Tani jo je ga lan jamne ote mare ze ngarang ga lama te chola chama yundan yo re je te yundan kashi yundan yo pada kashi yundan me pa tendi mare te mare je tani gimsan ka re je na tani ngarang ga gella sham dang nyar je da tani shangchub ga sim tendi ta tani lama jamba ga tani te toni tani nge lap thap ga mare tani dharma kirti ga tani kamdan ni ngala tani yabo ke re te ti gimsan ji nge korang la tharmo sho la ja kare korang gam sam ju pi ne kam na ngaram teni mukchi tong gimsan de tere sone teni te pe kola pe kadran chimbore tagre sone sonyares.
And Tisha answered that no, it wasn't because he viewed some teachers as having good or many qualities and others having less. In his view, all of his teachers were possessed of very virtuous qualities. The reason that he would bring his palms together at the top of his head when he spoke of Dharmakirti was that it was in his presence and by his side that he was able to really arouse loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And it was with Dharmakirti that he received the most profound teaching and practice realization.
Teni nga chola lama la tapa yapo sim ka tang ni tapa pe tapa yapo yongken chogo teni lama la soran dip teni shina korang ka tapa ti sim na yar ki wi ne kumna teni korang ka sim ka na la ma ki pa da teni modi wa ta teni dungur ta teni jam mambo sim thola yo na te sama lamsa par men jo re tapa ti yar chang shik chimbu bar member wan ra wo re yo ka se teni korang ka chik sim ka thola mari pa mambo. And
for people who do have an extremely strong and extremely ardent faith in their teacher, then it's possible at the moment or when they generate this extremely strong sense of faith that their feelings of unhappiness or suffering or ignorance, just by generating this sense of faith in their teacher and praying towards them, that these feelings can be dispelled immediately.
Teni Quran sogur mulum gane kamla lama teni jarnjariata lama wa song tuyata teni yona teni Quran pe simla kebo yona nima kaji la Quran sim ganala pe demo ta kebo dang.
And then if students with such faith in their teachers dream of their teachers appear in their dreams, then for a couple of days afterwards they will feel extremely happy, extremely elated.
Teni tindi tapa yakboyo tsarwi jini pena nga tso lama jigyo nanda, yana lama ndecha nanda, susu ranga teni jin nyamlinga tolaya nare, susu ranga leka tolaya na, teni njug batang, manjug batang, rendugze, mendugze, tso lama ga, te korang tso la teni lam tong gare se, lama ndecharwi jisi yang, lama ga teni lam tong she yung gare se.
And once students are able to generate faith of this level in respect of their teachers, then whether or not their teacher is still living in this world or not, they are still able to provide guidance on their practice and on other aspects of life.
Teni ngazo susorang lamadang teni ngururun bochi pama sambawa teni nyamdo tapajak sora tamna teni namgin teni go sorwati pe yakboyong gores.
And if we make frequently or make a habit of praying to our teacher and to our Guru Rinpoche at the same time, then we can generate very good results in terms of our faith.
Tani tabat tani karchim bozo yembate tani nyamlin yakbo shinkang motso tani sosorang nyamyung to hako de matoba te jamatso tawane tin rishi gyaptab kumare te tini yembaza hako mares.
The importance of faithful practice is something that people can really only verify by their own experience, their own personal experience. It's really not something that other people are able to understand, and it's not something necessarily that is able to be explained.
Pena ngaso gengka lakba jamni tini pena dinalayo bi chiti pa tarre ni tini khangni tini reyona tani jod jabyong ne kumna tani korang lamsang par tini tart jinro ndo wan chakpa di jinro re tinra boshini tani koso sem marki pada sem madeva tan jikting tini metse thola jamra mambu yong kapse te korang lamala tapa yak boyong kanso lamala tapa ja tini shejana te koranggal che tini niba shenlov zena mendu gantar tin niba te thongyong di tani dungar de so chama korang perna nima sharni tart
So just as the winter sun is capable of melting drops of ice, so too is the power of blessing of one's teacher able to melt away or dissolve one's suffering.
Teni tapaga shikte yarpe teni shikmbar membar onrawo teni yongi kapsa teni tela teni koranga sim koranga teni rang or korang ngo zena mendu sim koranga rangjin zena te korang hakon rogore ko lamsang tendi je sambao tendi hakon rogore.
And it's possible when one's faith in one's teacher is really burning like a fire, that one can very rapidly gain realization into the basic nature of the mind.
Tatindi raising so teni lama tabate karchin yembatang teni tel loma lama la taba yang boyong kin sola susula nyam to yang boyo yung tserdang tati sushat na pe mambo teni tamgin mambo shaji yore te zurji yomare shatsaji yomare counter susu tomar taba yang boja de karchin boris.
So in terms of the importance of faith and in the importance of faith for practice, etc., there's been much said about this, there's been much written about this, and almost in an endless sense. The end of the day, though, sort of bringing it all into summary, the faith is extremely important, and we should work hard on generating it. And now I'd like to turn to the text for this evening's teaching.
Number jarwe tiktam la yunga dab jigso nyang dab jet pa mi zem dlam gon jarwa kan di yeshi gon jarkan yeshi jingdi ke je ja horo jon tawjini tam ne chen rola mambaram jot ta sone teni tamboti teni jipchen jamba yang la teni chopar jot teni jipchen jamba yang la teni sorati pati gimchen ki teni lama yujin sona ta ngarang rang teni kaja karishiadna tam karishiadna ti simchen samala panyak botoba yongya o tendizla teni sordip teni nares.
So the first verse of tonight's teaching is a homage to Manjushri. And the reason that we do this, as Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok himself said, was for the reason that the reason of the aspiration that every single word he utters is of benefit to all sentient beings.
Ti nala khabartam ngacho sang dorje ta bada zoba chimbo nala lama ga mangak zena lama ga damngak tindi ze azi ore te pe kar chimbo tsagre.
Whether it's the Mahayana teachings or the Vajrayana tradition, we talk about the instructions of our teacher. And particularly in Vajrayana, in the Dzogchen tradition, we talk about the pith instructions of our teacher or the practice instructions from our teacher, and we regard this as extremely important.
Tani lama ga damngak ze ande te ngacho kandizla kolgo gore zena pe na ngacho zama lena tani perna choma tani zama ga nanglan devya ga chai na re jamba na chuan ta ta manda mambo tani choma chama shokchi la jini mambo zutani dugni jariona tani tin nang ne pe na ngacho tin nang la ta zama zona tani tin nang ne choma len tani tin nang la namlu tin nang la jorji tap tani chini yara zayan ra oz zogo reze tani shirtang ngacho go chuti perna tini thaba chimbo go chuti perna ngacho ta zama zoya ga thapshin ra ote mari zaman ra oreze perna ngacho ta derma mambo ja ne perna choma derma mambo ja tani num tini ja tani jorji mambo ja yona ta ngacho ndo kandi chini zama zogo ore kandi china jimbo yore tani ti thapshis go ores.
So we can liken instructions for practice to making or the art of putting together an extremely delicious meal. So we can imagine that in a kitchen, all the vegetables are laid out on individual plates. Then we have countless small saucers with various kinds of seasoning on top of it. We have oil, we have other necessary ingredients. And then it is a matter of working out or devising a way to put these ingredients together in a way that is extremely delicious.
Tenita lama damgak zayate te pena ngachota ngacho choma ngombo tindi lugore teni nam tindi mangyong tindi lugore teni project tindi ndab gore teni tindi shejana ta jimbo rindo ore zineti tabshin rawotela teni lama damgak zene tindi zegore.
And we can say that the instructions of our teacher are like, for example, being told to put this amount of vegetables in the pot, then to put this amount of seasonings, put this amount of oil in this particular stage. These specific instructions for how to make the meal in a delicious way is similar to the way that practice instructions directly from our own teacher work.
Teni ngacho sangak dorji thakba na lola kandize nduzena sargi ga songle kyang teni lama ga songate karche gare zine kap se tindi songres.
In the Vajrayana teacher, we sometimes say that even the advice or the instructions of our own teacher is sometimes even more important than what the Buddha in fact said.
Teni te kandize reze tegona ngacho sargi ga mashi baza ngacho ko lama ga shi ze reze te mareze. Teni sargi ga songba tele lapa za ngacho lama la songji yo reze vito reze na te mareze.
Of course, we're not saying by this that
sargi ga mashi baza teni lama ga shi ga reze na te mareze. Teni sargi le lapa tele lapa za teni lama la songji yo reze na te mareze.
So we're not saying by this that the Lama knows, our own Lama knows more than what the Buddha did, or that our own Lama knows better than what the Buddha taught.
Teni te maina ta ngacho sargi ga song le kyang lama ga song de karchimbo reze ati ze gu gimsang kare reze na. Teni sargi ga song de pe jachimbo reze pe na ngacho tari tinala chuma derma mambo ja. Teni Georgi mambo jak teni nam ramara mambo jana teni ta ngacho gari chini zama zogo de ngacho hago yo mare tena sargi gti song zate pe jachimbo reze.
But the reason we do say this is that the teachings of the Buddha were very wide, they were very general. So they were in respect to, you might say, an extremely large meal with an extremely wide array of ingredients.
Tani lama ga song zya te pe na nga cho zama zoya te tani ta tabshi shi go re tani ota tino choma mambu zindu ta ina te go re te go ma re zi ndi choma ndang dinin jukure ma to te changman juk ma re zi an daw tani tabshi shi ne zama zoya ga tabshi te tani lama ga yakbo za ha go yo re zi ten ja po ne nga cho sangji ga song te nga cho mix chi ke nyamselen go na tani sangji ga song wa te changma nga cho nyamselen go na chawan len thoya yo ma re te mena tani lama ga te cho changma la ta ni o tan dun nyamselen na tani jukure tinang la changma ndo re zi ne lami tin di song re di jimchen ki sangji ga song le jang lama ga song wa te kar che zi ne zeya ga jimchen tin di ji.
So the reason that we do say that at times our own Lama, their teaching is more important than the teaching of the Buddha is for the reason that the Buddha, you might say, laid out many plates of vegetables and many plates of seasoning. Our Lama, on the other hand, provides us the instructions about which plates we actually need and which seasonings we need, which methods and techniques we need to advance in our practice. It's not possible for us to put into practice all of the teachings that the Buddha taught. And so in order to receive specific teachings on what we need and what we don't personally need to take on, this is what we rely on our teacher for, and that's why we say at times that their teaching is more important than that of the original Buddha.
Tani nyamtok yakbo yongken ga tani lama sanyi tang dabati gandri zrezena tani laktsar hachang ga tsan thumbo yongken ga zama lenken ga jama wata tenra bores.
So when we talk of a Lama who is extremely qualified and extremely advanced in their realization and practice, we can liken this to an extremely skilled and an extremely qualified chef.
Tani jimtsan chi te terisi, tani jimtsan nipa te gangrezena, shetang sangji ga songya te, shir semchin mambo la tani tsangma la mar tani song jagwa, shichib ka tani tsangma la song jagwa tani zirez.
And then, in general, we can say that the teachings the Buddha gave were very general and oriented to all beings, a very wide audience.
Ta yena tani semchin so tani yang raga mare zi tsangma nesran raga mare tani yena tsangma la tani songya te mi tsangma la tani chokar rewe zi na tani ngibayo mare susu la nesran mandrawa re nesran mandrawa yena tani koranga natun mandrawa yo mambu yo re natun mandrawa te so takchub chiya ga tabshi yang tani mandrawa tani go yo re.
However, not all beings are the same. The situation of beings varies significantly, and so in respect of their own particular situation, they need particular methods that are tailored to themselves.
Tani lama ngara chu mo chola tani charji yo re nga chu lama ta nyamdo yo rambore sonde tani nga chu mo gandhi zi yin lama ha go re tani ko sona tani mundela tani chu gandhi go re samne tani ta lama te ha go re tani indi tani di kwarang pe na napan rawo yin na napate charji yambo yongkin ga tani mamba chila tenna tani mamba kwarang o napan de ta kwarang na te yore tani tela man te jingo re samban rawo te kwarang ha go re te man te jinna te zana tani napala pe pantong rawo re ten rawo re.
And so the benefit that our Lama can bring to us is his or her capacity to understand our situation, to understand our condition, just as a doctor would understand or come to an understanding of the situation of their patient, and on this basis be able to prescribe them the proper medicine.
Perna jipsun malare pandrapo inna tani jabjir marba lota korang ka lama tani korang la dikpu mambo pe mambo tani tangyo resi ti dikpu mambo tangba de so nga so dambi chu toni tanada tini semjin la tini dikpu tang kara chokta perna nga so roa mi muchu ranglik toni shana tini dikpu ti tangya me pandrapo tani chiyo resi.
If we look at the case of Milarepa and his teacher Marpa, then we all know the story of the various sufferings that Marpa inflicted on Milarepa. In the general course of things, in terms of everyday life, or the ordinary course of human interaction or good conduct, inflicting these kinds of sufferings on other beings is not something that we would ordinarily see.
Tani karte marba locha gatini tenji gatini dugpo tangayate mena tani jima jipsam mela ripa tseshila sang jendro ya rawati yomare.
However, if Mapa had not inflicted these very onerous conditions on Milarepa, then it wouldn't have been possible for him to later attain Buddhahood.
Kartiti kapsatini jabjer marba locha gatini Milarepa la yang ngaso sherdang raboshine ta chorangal hojong ya poche gore tani chorangal nyamle ya poche gore ndawo tenjin raboshi yona tani jipsam Milarepa la jini gati kwarangati jimjim ngonjir to tawani yomare.
If Mapa had treated him in a very ordinary way, just telling him to study hard the teachings and be diligent about their practice, and had not applied to him this special consideration and special treatment, then it wouldn't have been possible for him to attain the realization that he subsequently did in his practice.
Tani ngarang tso tani semnang la yopi tani nat zegona nyumung pati tsuma mepa chirgona tani tapshi kandraza la tani mepa chirgo tani nga tso lama ga tani hako yores tani lami te hako na tani nga tso la tani tapshi tega gone nga tso la tani pandoya te chigre ti gimtsan la tani nga tso sanga kanang la tani sangi ga songwa te le kyang lama ga songwa te kar chigre zewe gimtsan tindis res.
So it's because of the fact that it's our Lama who gains familiarity about our situation and prescribes us a means for ridding ourselves of our own disturbing emotions and attitudes, that in the Vajrayana tradition we describe our Lama's teachings as more important than that of the Buddha.
Tani tindi indi tini nga tsun dinang la tani lama yujin norin dinang la tani songba te tani lami mangak ze ya te re ze te nga tsu sangye ge chum mambo zi yopi nang ne tani natun zhiga tola sar dini ta zhipu tu kyorang tsu nyamlin che ta tenju ka re song ne tindi che yore.
So this victory doha is a pith instruction from Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok, and within this pith instruction he condenses 4 points, and his intention is to say that students should commit themselves or dedicate themselves to practicing these 4 points, and this will enable them to achieve good results in their practice.
Tani jite kang re zena tangbo ten zokba chimbo gom sone te song yore.
And the first of these points is the importance of meditating on the Dzogchen teachings.
Tani nipa te kang re zena shangchip chi sim yabo kit sone te song yore.
And the second point was the importance of meditating and generating bodhicitta.
Tani simba te kang re zena nga tso soso go Tsultrim yabo chong song pe na nga tso rapshung inna rapshung kimba inna tani kimba go Tsultrim yana shangchip senhwa go domba yana sangha go domba la mambu yore tani kang inna te yabo chong song ne song yore te simba te te res.
And the third point is the importance of keeping ethical discipline. So whether that be vows of ordination or household vows or bodhisattva vows or tantric vows, the third point emphasizes the importance of keeping ethical discipline for one's practice.
Tani jipati nga tsu muti mu yakbo che go re ze ma to ba nga tsu mu dugbo zi na tani chu yang dribgo ma re ze chu dribgo na yang tani mu yakbo manje te nga tsu mu chu yakbo zi yo go re mu chu yakbo zi yo na tani ti to la la chu dribgo re ma to ba nga tsu mu chu te me na la chu dribgo ma re mu chu te la chu go te manje da po re mu yakbo zi che go re ti jite yo na tani nga tsu mambo me na ti jite go tani ndring go re so yo re.
And then the fourth point is the importance of being a good person, exercising, doing good things, having virtuous conduct in quite a mundane sense. This, in Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok's opinion, is the basis, the foundation for future Dharma study. Without essentially being a good person in speech and conduct, then it's not possible really to progress in one's Dharma teachings.
Tani tangbo teres, tangbo dzogba chimbo gumgoya teres.
So that's the first point, the importance of meditating on the Dzogchen teachings.
Lam yangzab osar nyangboyi tsik tupi chitsa shiro shit anat gumnar dawa triki chun dokona nyanga khwawe tamson da nga tso dzogba chimbo ti gum thamna da te tharwa thopa ti she margu ware ta dzogba chimbo go tsik ti so nga tso nawa ga nangla thobna yang thuna yang ti thutur je gare teni rambu yen rambu margu wa shini ti tharwa thob gare.
So the second verse, beginning to hear the teachings of the most profound path of luminous essence, this verse refers to the fact that not needing to mention the capacity of the Dzogchen teachings to enable us to attain liberation. This goes without saying, but even hearing the sound of the teachings, the words of the teachings, enables us to plant the seeds of liberation through hearing, such that people who are fortunate enough to hear these teachings will attain liberation in a relatively short period of time after hearing them.
Tani dzogba chimbo tondi gumna, tani yakpos tani gumtabna, tani tam mi halepa ga tani wambo numbo zya tani yore wambo numbo zya te halepa kumbore ngaso shertang ka nangla pe kumbore karti tani ga wambo numbo mangji yakbo yongken se gre ta korang ka mangji thumbo yongken tani zina dawa chuk nangla yang tani tharwa thop gore sone tani song yore dzogba chimbo jibzin nyangtik zya ti nangla tani song yore.
And it's said by Jetsun Nyintuk that a practitioner of a very high level or a practitioner who is of a particularly high level of disposition towards the practice, it is possible for such a practitioner to achieve liberation within 6 months of Dzogchen practice.
Tani dzogpa chimbo te gomna, tani mangje pe yakbo yongken ang tangbo te so, tani tsin ditokla te sang jigre.
And in the Dzogchen teachings, it's said that the practitioners with the most solid foundations, practitioners with the highest foundations, it's possible for them in this lifetime to attain Buddhahood.
Tani mjangbu rawo te so ina, mjangjang rawo te so ina, tani pardo la tani sang jigre se ta nga tsu dzogba chimbo na la tani pardo nyamli mambo yore, te so la lojong shina te pardo ni sang jigre.
And for practitioners of a perhaps more middling level, it's possible for them to achieve Buddhahood in the Bardo state.
Tani tama te yena, tani tama rawo yena, tani jewa shimala, tani nga tsu perna tari tsendi tola nga tsu zoba chimbo wang to, chut to, tani nyamling yang kala kansam che, tani shena, tani tse jimala, tani lobchanga lombi kapsi yana lo nishi tsanga lombi kapsi tani zoba chimbo chutang chatni tani nyamlin che ne ditoni sanjegre kewa ni matok par go mares.
And even for practitioners of the lowest standard, it's possible for them to achieve Buddhahood in no more than 2 lifetimes. So by receiving Dzogchen empowerments in this lifetime, instructions on their practice, and engaging in Dzogchen meditation to some extent, then even if one doesn't achieve Buddhahood in the Bardo state, then certainly in one's next lifetime, perhaps at age 15 or 25, upon encountering the Dzogchen teachings, then such a practitioner will attain Buddhahood.
Tondadang chapi karzanzo, un karmansa, tsosa, larjite, war kunduzang dang karanyam, the gawri kishing yantonam. Tani ngaranzo te dzogba chimbo la tari, dzogba chimbo wang to, tani dzogba chimbo chitom ni tani chayo pati, ngaranzo kewa mambo la tani tsoksak, dzijang mambo shibi tani ngrewa tini ngaso tari zokbachin potang chabare tini tsama sim gabushi gores.
And then moving on to the next verse, beginning, the fortunate ones who encounter these teachings, refers to the fact that those who are so fortunate in this lifetime to receive empowerment, Dzogchen empowerments and instructions on the Dzogchen teachings are extremely blessed, and their blessedness is the karmic ripening of a great deal of merit accumulated in previous lifetimes.
Tani ta zogba chimbo gomba na tani nipati tani shanship ko sim gom gore.
So the first point, the importance of meditation on the Dzogchen teachings, and then the second point, the importance of meditating on bodhicitta.
Anin jigrong korwi semjen nam tandi sala woyongshir jan panji samshut kurtuvji rangchinzin hali tujin tors. Tani korwa na la yongken ka semjen teso tamchu pola tani nyarji ke gore ngarangcho namgin ngarangcho samne rang jangchibote hal lepa tani chiboshi ne tani chegore tati par tujin da parate torgo gore tani jalla pambi tani samlo inna ajalla pambayo pig leka yana teso ngacho tangdelengo gore.
So this verse is talking about the importance of letting go of our selfish attitude and taking on an attitude of concern for other beings and cultivating altruistic thought and action in respect of other beings.
Tani shanchivchi semte tani yaboz tani mena tani yang arancho tani leka gang lena yang tani yang chu Tarvat Hoyata, Sanjit, Kabarta Sanjit Hoya, Dendi Yong Tabgo Mare, Dena Shanjibi Semde, Maranzo Zobachimbo Gomna, Shanjibu Semde, Koranti Mangela, Yindamanda Gore.
If we don't have a foundation in bodhicitta, then it won't be possible for us to attain Buddhahood. So from the point of view of the Dzogchen teachings, bodhicitta is extremely foundational.
Amangan ru gomparan de yingok kom thori de horan de yinjen tar tarwi kamsaran de yipshin ulo mamang nyam jindalam zu chitanga chu shanship chi semte tini gomna teni soso rang inna teni di panchudni tini nyarwa yetak ngansung nala ndoya yo mares shanship ku semde gom char shanship ku sem yakpozu yonna di panchu tsawani tini ngansung lan ro mares immote.
So moving on to the next verse, the door to hell will thus be blocked. This is talking about how practitioners who are able to generate stability and are able to generate strong bodhicitta in their practice will never again need to descend to the lower realms.
Me mamboz ka tjinga chu chula tini damga mamboshi yang kapkapsa samna nga chu ndigumna gapsare sam yang kapkapsa tati gasamare nga chu ndigumna gasare samni me mamboz ka damga shini tini mamboshi yoreze reti shanship ka simti nga chu damga ka kishi yo mari yindam manda te gumgo re tini lu mambo mashi ndigum turgum tini lu mambo mashi lu sim chudr ka thone tini shanship ka simti nandan yakbo nyamlin che gores.
Oftentimes, practitioners of the Dharma, they are fickle-minded. They think that practicing this kind of meditation is beneficial. Other times, they think that this kind of meditation seems like a good thing to do. In any case, in respect of bodhicitta, this is something that we shouldn't waver in our minds about. It's something we necessarily need to dedicate ourselves to. And so this verse is advising us very strongly to dedicate ourselves to the cultivation of bodhicitta.
Yet kor Phuntsok Dharmaraja yet monbi sambal hopunga to harjin ruim chordong chok chunatrim Genjim chok to zons tani nga cho tarwa nani yar korwa nani ta ngarang tarwa tobgo samba tani simtak zamjit tani damja tani semgo nala tani yongya dela ngimjung zegrezi ngimjung tani ngimjung te yakboz yona tani ngimjung ti tokni tani ngarang cho pena kyambayina de chimna ne patindi zina teni por korang gemhing domba ro je teni chanju sen wa domba je teni domba de jene teni domba de yak boz teni song go rezita domba de ngarancho mi soso go teni nesar manja ware kashi domba mambo sona ya song tab gore kashi nyonyo ma to song tab ko marete kandi song soso rang ka ta chena chokore.
After we've generated an extremely strong resolve in our own minds to be free from samsara, to transcend samsara, then we say that we have generated a strong renunciation. And after we've done this, then we have the option of taking a variety of vows. They may be the householder vows, they may be other vows. This really depends on individual situations. Some people are able to take many sets of vows and keep many sets of vows. Other peoples are only able to take on relatively few. In any case, this is emphasizing the importance of keeping ethical discipline and guarding the vows that we do undertake to keep.
Tani danyam na ngandrum thamin jam rango mangkor langtorum jut tikan sore te indi tani kate tsutum yakbo ma chongna tani te ngansong la tani jore indama da chonggo re te indi tani rangango mangkor ashini ta nga su chudubgo na kandi dubgo denji dubgo samne mi mangbo zu chu yakbo dub sam go yore ta ina ngong korne kandi dubgo hako yo mare tani ngong khorki yo mare tangbo tsutum go gore tini tsutum go jog thone tini rembe yarn rona tini yakbo yong gore na tini thomar tela nyamling che go gore
Yanja sona chokambula.
tsutum zeyate te tsutum de ma chongna te ngansong lan ro gore tini ta tsutum de nga chum mangbo ngong khorne chu yakbo drop sam na yang tini kang drop go hamako ni ngong khorne de yore ta ina ngong khor go mare tangbo tsutum tong go gore tini rembe ro go gore.
So it's important that the ethical discipline that we have undertaken to keep, we are committed to doing so. If our vows become weakened, then we potentially descend to the lower realms. Many people are very confused about how they should go about their Dharma practice. Should they practice this meditation? Should they practice this method? The most important thing to begin with, everyone should be aware of, is the foundation of ethical discipline.
Tani shertang chu pepe mambore chu zeyate do nga tani nga layang mambo yari jachimbo tinji je ta yinnayang tani nga chu nyamlin shi pikaps tani ndosumbo ti nyamlin shi na ta tin nga ndeyore tin jogore chiti jokba chimbo nyamlin shi gore nidev shanchip ko semke gore simde soso ranga ta domba mambo songtamna nyonyong songtamna kanji yinna tani domba kashi tani song gore te sona te simde yo sona tani tan jogore.
So within the sutric teachings and the tantric teachings as well, there are infinite, almost seeming practices that we could choose from. So really what Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok is teaching in this Victory Doha is that three main points are enough. Practice of the Dzogchen teachings, practice of the cultivation of bodhicitta, and also the keeping of some extent of ethical discipline. If we can practice and keep these three things in a dedicated way, then this is sufficient for us as a practice path.
Tani ngarang so nyama re ge tani nyamlin ti nang la tani ndso sumbo te changwa zi yong na pe yakshu re zi tani te so sumbo te chang nduk ta go gore.
So if we are able to really dedicate ourselves to these three things, or these three paths, then this would be very good. Whether or not we are able to do so is something that we need to individually evaluate ourselves.
Pena nga zo tsatum chungwa ze ya te nga zo ta gimhing domba jina ja tini domba gang jina domba ji chawi jini 내가 저때 송된다 되니 남긴이 요거래 마도 니마레레신도 디잠바치 고 말에 거랑 냠마소나 테 딱버 요레스.
In terms of vows that we take on, they're not necessarily something that we need to work on, as it were, every day. For example, if we've taken the householder vows and we haven't weakened them or they haven't deteriorated them, then there's no need for us to renew them on a daily basis.
Teni ti tolap nga chon teni samlo tangko gres pena nga cho ngamo teni thanschigla gomgyap teni gongmo teni thanschigla teni gomgyap teni shena teni pena ngamo nga cho teni lami namjur don teni chokba chimbo gom teni gogres.
So if we are going to have a session of practice in the morning and one session of practice in the evening, then in the morning, for example, we could start off by reciting Guru Yoga and then doing practice on Dzogchen.
Tani gongmo, tani nga cho semjin tamjala nyangji gom, samba shangchim shokto semkit, tani shangchim ko sem gom gogres gongmo.
And then we could reserve our evening practice session for the cultivation of bodhicitta.
Ta tendi she jona nga chu nyimas chi nyamlin ti nang la tenin din nang la songba te sambo te changro res.
And if we were to practice like this, then our daily practice would incorporate all of the points that are covered in this text.
Tenin di sambo te sir dana samreze teni parte che gebon ra chi shana teni yang shangship ko semda ngonro da to soyang rembe tenin rogo re to sunro tona pe yak boyo re changma cha changba zunro tona nga cho pe na ngonro thamo shi ngonro da teni thamman nang ko ngonro to changma cha changwa tin yak bo zunro tona te pe yak boyo re.
Of course, this text is condensing, is abbreviating the 3 points. It would be best, of course, if we were able to practice in a sequential and systematic way, beginning with the external preliminaries and then moving on to the internal preliminaries and completing these systematic practices.
Tani nga chu changma so so rang nyamling kan nang la kan ri kan do chu samlo z tang ko re kare ta nga chacham in the us tani nge shangship ko sem gom go nyimare resh tang rang go gom gun do es tani nga rang go zogba chim bo gom gun do ta mend tani chu ta go re tani ka te nyimas chi kan la te sam bo te chang yo na tani pe yak bo re tani tan dik song re.
So this is something that is for individual practitioners to assess for themselves. We need to ask ourselves, am I keeping ethical discipline? Am I working on the Dzogchen teachings? And am I working on generating bodhicitta? And if in one's individual practice one is managing to do all these 3 things, then that's great. You're managing to dedicate yourselves to what is a complete path of Dharmic practice.
Di sum ga nang la ta nga chu Tsultrim chongze domba chongze tin di song yo re domba ji ti par mambo shan da pe mambo yo re se yin na sawi sawa ngoni te chi chong ra o de ga re se na teni semchen la no pa ma shi wa te di nang la da yo re se semchen la no pa ma shi pa te teni Tsultrim go teni sawa ngoma te te re.
So tonight we've talked about the keeping of ethical discipline in respect of keeping vows. In terms of vows, there's a lot that can be said, a lot of very complex content. But if we're going to really talk about what the basic or most fundamental, essential meaning of keeping ethical discipline is, well, it is not engaging in action that causes harm to other sentient beings.
Tani nga chu chu mambo nyamlin shi thana na yakbo yo re je te ina ta nga chu Sherdanga Chongcher ga nala denken chi nan teni leka mambo le go re chowa ga thola nonshig mambo yo re letong ga thola nonshig mambo yo re te yena ta nga chu nyimar takbar ni nga mambo dang ya da teni chi shak mambo charya da teni mambo le go na te khabu yo re teni ka te teni mayong na teni nga chu simbo te 냠린 시장한테 디나라 참만도 알아서.
Of course, it's really wonderful if we are able to engage in other kinds of Dharma practice. However, many of us have extremely busy lives. We have a lot of pressure, work pressure from our everyday lives, and so for this reason, it's a convenient and condensed teaching that is very beneficial, nevertheless, if we commit ourselves to these 3 points of practice.
당아서 추점나양 되니 추가 낫 야보데 하고 그래요. 낫 저오데 야보즈 지시고 그래 마토 받더니 가서 추 담비 추이나 추가 낫 저보데 야보즈 마시나 되니 가서 mambo즈 레데나야 사위 냥보라고 야보레메나 양 판바침보 메바든지 전로 그래.
In terms of Dharma practice, it's very important that we grasp what the main point or the key point of the teaching is. And if we're able to do this and to focus on this in our practice, then we will achieve good results. If we don't do this, if we aren't able to do this, then we won't.
Tani tambichu natti yabozu tani yabozu tamzin tani yabozu shishona tani ngazo ju mambozu mashina tinala tani chokore tani natti kangrezina tari kona shapati sumderes.
So even if we don't have a vast knowledge of or comprehensive knowledge of the Dharma teachings, by knowing what the key points are, then this in itself is enough. And so what is being pointed out in tonight's teaching is 3 main points of practice.
Tani tati ola tani mayak bochya tani tesha kare ta mayak bochi yid kanjila zegrezinda tesha kare siti ola.
And below, moving onwards, the next thing that is talked about is the importance of being a good person.
Tani tikanda samshu chokdang tan sone tani ngaso tidang namba kanda namda nam yin nayang tani ngarang so samba samlo tangsarda tani lega lesar teso tamchi po ngaso mi mambozi na ti mi jamba to tang tan go gores so samatan thumbuli thumbushi go gores ta pena so gerka tani samlo tangsarda tindi mandawa yona chokore da yinayang mi jamba teso tam thumbuli go re ma to ba de ngaso leka kawalena chama mamthan ba chigdang mamthan ba tindi lena tindi kumare ma chama ta tani tan yapo pare yapo tunni tani chama tan thumbu tindi jushe go re te tondak tangbores.
And in respect of this, the first piece of advice is to work towards being in harmony with other people. So it's okay if we've got our own ideas about how things should be done, but in general, we should try to operate in a way that brings us into harmony and accord with those around us.
Tani mi jambala tani tan mashinken tani so kaja shepa leka lea chama mi jamba ga semlan rota mandrota mi jamba ga tindi ndota mando te chawale martu par tani khorang rang kangre shina tindi shejana tani ndog mares.
So some people aren't disposed to doing this. Their speech and their action always seems to create conflict between themselves and other people. And in terms of being a good person, laying the grounds for our Dharma practice, this kind of conduct is not appropriate.
Tani tindiga me jambala tani yapo mutun kengati mutisola azu pok tani tanhoi nala tani mu zuqrajun da tindi zeri tani zuqrajun tindi parin choksun chok tani shibore tinda ore zegres.
In a Tibetan proverb, we talk about people who are always getting into conflict with others as
Zuqraju.
Oh yeah.
Nyuja.
Yeah, we talk about them as like having bull's horns.
Yeah. Yeah. Tani Korang susu rang la tini the janda mandrawa ga samlo yo na ti chokorese mi ger ke tini samlo tangsar ta tawa mandrawa ta tini yo na yang chokorese inna yang tini pena nga so mo nishi sumche ngapchin nyu janda tini zi yo na nga so pena chusok chik na la mo ngapchin da o tini zi yo na tini korang ger la samlo tangsar yo ma chokse tini ka jamare yo chokorese reti inna yang korang ga leka kangle na kaja kangri chana shana tini tsama mi jamba tsama la tini mi jamba ga ndopa yona tini tini lea ma to ba tini jamba ga ndopa mena tini korang ga samlo tini yona yang tini le jana tini muschik dang ma tini korang ga ndopa ta ta lena tini mi tsama gardar yongore tini kumare tsama la tambo che gores.
So this doesn't mean, as I mentioned before, that people aren't entitled to have their own ideas or their own views, but if we are to operate in a collective situation, such as here in a Dharma center where you might have 50 people or 70 people or 100 people, in general, when we go about undertaking work, then we should do so in a way that brings others into harmony and not act in a way that sows conflict. And so this is the first criteria of being a good person, a virtuous person. And the second criteria is being an honest person.
Tani tambuzi na tini chi oyorgin ramanda mambo mingo koreanda ta tani tindi mayemba pena ngaso leka lego na pena leka kamu tindi legi yona pena yongbu chongchong tani leka kabu tindi legi yona tani te ngarang rangum mole mi jamba jila par le ti tabshishi tani leka le labo yonggu chimbu tindi yona te ngarang rang tani raya ga tabshishi anda te tindi tela oyorgize gre tindi meba changmo shine pena leka kamu tani 용법 충충 인간때 앵아랑 걸 레고야 인다 땡 아랑 걸레 템미 잠바즈 코랑 걸레 고야 틴디스 동거 톨라레요나 테니 코랑 걸레 틴딘다 보마 토바 테니 탑신다 문다 시네 테니 수수 랑거 게르라 삼로타네 틴디 마시바 장부 시바텔라 테니 미 약보시야가 차키니 파레스.
So in talking about honesty, we mean not being sly, not being cunning, not being tricky, not, for example, trying to push all the difficult work that doesn't generate much income onto other people and try to use all kinds of wily ways so that the easy work and the work that makes a lot of money comes into one's own hands. These are all examples of behavior or ways of acting that undermine an honest character. So being honest and being upright, this is the second criteria of being a good person.
Jisen ronken ta teze grese nilik jisen ronken ma tok batni tin damra mambo mashinge ta tonda te tong thola kanti na tendi shenken o tendi la ze gres jit tamboze ade.
So we also say in respect of this the importance of being honest, we say that a person is someone who acts in accordance with the situation at hand, doesn't try to do all kinds of tricky things, and is down to earth and honest.
Teni chakin somebody garezina teni samba garuz ngazu bognana samba garuz ate teni jampan janla pansim yonken deze grezeta mi jamba chila pambayona ngarang gabo shinken teni mi jamba chila teni dugboyona ngarang gayang teni te sim tela sim krishinken o teni sim namtak shinken teni zila zegreze te tema to bapena ngarang la gaboziona teni ngarang gaboshi mi jamba la gaboyona te ngarang sim la teni margawando teni mayemba mi changmala teni pansim yakboyonken deze gre teni te changmala karchi shuti teres.
And then the third thing is, the third point is having pure intentions, or what is described in Tibetan as having being white-hearted, or having a pure-hearted. And in respect of this, we mean someone who is oriented towards, altruistically oriented towards benefiting others, someone who is happy when they're able to benefit others, and someone who approaches others with pure intentions. And this is extremely important.
Shirtang aso me yakbozu che gona te shirtang mambu she ya yori mambu yori tata ndi nangla tsuwo ti te simre yona tini me yakbozu ni mang ndona te chokonduz.
So in everyday speech, when we talk about being a good person, there are all kinds of ways that we might imagine a person could go about being good. However, for the purposes of this text, we single out 3 criteria. And you might say that if a person succeeds in being able to do all these things, then they can be regarded as a good person.
Tani purandun yachirib drumdo kyang tsirgjan tan shibab mangenzi. Shirtang arang so rang ton tindis drum gona yang. Tani leka leate ngaso pena me jang tini pambati drumna tini ngarang so rangton ti tini ndrub yongorezi. Na shirtang ngarang ga rang tini ngarang rang la pambazu shi samnaze ngarang la kepa yongkenda ngarang la yakpo yongken leka tini nge drub samna tambu nge jala panto gores nge jala pamba yongken leka de lena tini ngarang la tinang ni pamba ngoni te tinang la yongores.
And then the second part of this verse addresses when we are wanting to achieve our own aims, when our purpose in engaging in a certain action is for our own benefit or our own profit. And the advice here is that we should first act to benefit others, and through doing so, the benefit that we derive will ultimately be our own.
Tini ngatsu mi mambozi ka rang la yakbo yongya ga cheta tini mo jamba la no pa shi ya ta pena ngatsu rang la tini pamjur yo yongya ga cheta tini mo jamba la ngor kor tang ya da zin tang ya da tini chi kma che jin da tini ga leka mambo le re pena tinda bo shi ni rang yakbo yongya ga cheta rang la no pa shi ga ri mi mambo o tini chi na tani me jan la yang no pa yong gore rang la yang no pa yong gore rang je ni ka la no pa yong gore rang dun yang jab ko ma re.
Many people who are wanting to achieve their own aims do so by engaging in activity that harms other people, whether it's by telling lies or by cheating them or stealing things. In doing so, such people don't actually work to their own benefit. They work in a way that harms both other people and themselves at the same time.
Tsirndala machu sang ma zer ze tini nga zo lo tong chak chik da tini samgya ga tini gong la nga zo churgir song zeng gambo ga tini machu sang ma pchitik ze ya ga tini chim pchitik tini song yore ti song ma tsir dana tini di nang lan da gres.
So during the imperial era of the Tibetan Empire, 16 rules for human conduct or ethical human behavior were compiled. And the second last verse of the Doha, this is what is known as Pure Rules for Human Conduct, refers to the fact that what has just been mentioned regarding how to conduct oneself as a good person is the essence or the condensed essence of these 16 rules for pure human conduct.
Dem gon tirsum jarwi tamki lam chu de ngu ji nyang ke yense teni dis depa tang tarta da maung bi teni sang ye cho teni simjing ge tap simjing ge ton dbya la teni tapshi mandawa ji ore se tapshi yakbo ji ore teni ji de ga re na teni chigde teni jimba tong ya re se pena simjin chula phamba je gona teni tangpo korang la chi jimba kala kansam teni par tango re te ton tangpo re se teni nipa de ga re na teni korang la kaja nyembo yakbo che go she go re korang ga simlan rongkhang ga kaja teni she go re te ni re tangpo de.
And then the line, the skillful path of the victorious ones of the 3 times and the essence of the 4 attractive qualities of a bodhisattva refers to the that the Buddhas of the past, present, and future act in 4 skillful ways. The first being through generosity, dana. The second being through pleasant or attractive speech.
배낭아 저 롬마 길근치 그더니 롬마지라 소경 약보 저더니 그런 거 시삼나 더니 그런 거 롭치야 지보디 마임바 데 롬마데라 가서 저 초아가 돌아더니 잡줄때지 되지 더니 남긴 그런라 까자 약보 냠보 든지시 든지시 더니 티토라 somebody 더니 그런 그 롬마가 심라더니 약보더니 제용이 값스 더니 그런라 다 롭치는 거 마티치 고레 Teni tenja boshine ngaso simjin namla te jimbatang kaja nyammo shet teni korangla te chula nyamlin yakbochia te sambares.
So we can liken this to a relationship between a teacher and a student. If the teacher has a mind to be very effective in their nurturing of their student, then they might start off by paying attention to their livelihood situation, perhaps giving them support if they need it, speaking to them in a pleasant and friendly way, and preparing their relationship in a positive and an effective way before actually engaging in the core part of the teaching, or in the religious or spiritual context in the instruction on practice.
배나가 좀 몰라 합샤당네 배나 결혼 그 심진 그 노바 심진 그 속마지지 심진라 노바 마시지 던디가 고네가 좀 파르합샤당나 던디가 알아서 랑게양 심진 그 쪽전년 그 말에 맞도바 배나가 좀 잘라 결혼 그 심진 그 쪽마지지 던디가 합샤당 던디가 알아 그 심진만 보고 쪽제 던디시 되나 던디 멋지게 당림지 말에 던디 띠지바레.
So if the first point was generosity and the second was pleasant or attractive words, and the third was then a teaching, and the fourth point here stresses the importance of the person who is giving the advice or instructions to put them into practice themselves. So it's not acceptable if we only advise or instruct others to do things but don't actually undertake this conduct ourselves.
배낭아 전 직딩 것도라 총 잡나 더니 총 득슈디 강아지나 총 할리바가 득슈 뭐마데 강아지나 나랑 케 더니 총 고랑 것더니 총 잡사가 뭐 남긴 고랑라 더니 총 잡사가 뭐 망보여와 배낭 나랑라 총강치요나 더니 남긴 나랑 그 총강가 나라 용네 나 산이 쫙가 망보뇨 된근 그 밑에서 팜 나랑 케 고랑초 팜 딘디레소나
So if we were to take the example of doing business, then the absolute lowliest kind of or way of doing business would be if we solely thought about our own profit and approached our customers with the view of them incurring loss. So all the people that came into our shop buying our various things, if we were solely concentrated on us making money and making profit off them and them being, you might say, ripped off or as a result, then this would be the lowliest attitude with which we could engage in doing business.
내가 좀 망보서 그때 총 약슈를 삼고 요래서 내총 잡야지 케가 돈달라 총 잡고 요래더니 코팜니 나랑 계속나 띵나랑 그 뭐에 늘송을 대총 약보리 삼고 요래 레데데 총 약보 말해서 과랑 꼬르마치 꼬르니 든지 케나 더니 지마 총 잠근데서 지금 그런 거 산이 착한요 말이 더니 그런 거 총데 처음만 매바 착거래 대총 득슈서 그래서.
Many people, however, think that this kind of, or this way of doing business is in fact an excellent, a very successful way of doing business if one makes profit all the time and others incur loss. Whilst it may bring profit the first time around and the second time around, however, in the long term, customers who see business proprietors acting in such a way are not likely to patronize their business in a long-term way.
더니 총 장본자오데 가리츠고 오리지나 페나 페나 나랑 팜 tani ngarang chung jam ke ngarang pham ngarang la khe chik jam me tani ngarang ka sani chakan yo dengeng ga mate chola tini khe yo ba tini resona tani te chung jangbo sagare je te kare rezena te ngarang tari ngarang la tini ji khe kha tini myo mare da yena ngi samni ngarang ka chung ka na ni chakan yo gen so karang so khe sona te ko so namjin tin la yung gore namjin yo na te nga kale kale tini ngarang yang ngarang ka tini khe sak na tini yung gore te chung jangbo ti sagare.
Probably a middling attitude with which we could do business would be if we were willing to accept loss in the short term, allowing our customers to gain from a transaction with a view to seeing them slowly continue to patronize our business such that eventually we would make a profit. Then this, you might say, would be a middling attitude to doing business.
말에 대총 약보디 그래지 총 약보디 즈비 점천실에나 배나 나랑라 코르스치라 나랑라 테니 망보즈 케 망보요 말해지 옛날 테니 나랑 그 총바 나랑 그 산이 약간 용근 대저 대저 케소나 테니 고전 남기 망보 용거리티 용나 나랑라 케 망보 메나 테니 나랑 그 케데 야야 망보 속네 테 나랑 지마 총바 쳔보 창으로 그래 테그 약슈디 대총 약슈디 그래지 나 밤네 테니 총존 대저 총강가 나라 용근 대저 대저 켄로와디 대총 약슈자 그래.
The clarification is that this is not a middling way of doing business. This is actually the best way of doing business. To have the attitude that one can take on loss oneself and that the benefit goes to one's customers and that slowly things will improve.
tani ngaya tezke khwarang tezke ngani ramnyum rawre te chungjangjang tsagre yakshu yang mari dikshu yang mari.
The idea that at this moment I should have some profit and they should have some profit is the middling attitude towards doing business.
tani tenja bo shawa changma teres zote nga zo mi janla tani phamba yak bo yong ya lekka te lena tani thami yarka te rangla thoyong gore thama rangal
And it's the same in respect to any kind of activity that we undertake. Ultimately, if we do what we do with the benefit of others in mind, then eventually we will find ourselves being benefited too.
다디 나랑 대충 약순다고 써그래 샤와 강이나 때에 람상 아케소나 나랑 약본다고 써그래다 드니 말에서 양랑보 라타나 드니 양랑보다 드니 푸랑보 용큰 거 레칼이나 드니 잔라 판바들이나 소소랑 문이 장내 그 야카티 티나리 용거 요레.
So if we're just to have a very short-term idea of what personal gain is, then we would think that to get profit in the short term is what's best for us. However, we should have a long-term notion of benefit, and according to this kind of attitude, we would see that by doing things that benefit others, ultimately we will also be benefited too. So, based on this, we can say that a person who habitually considers the benefit of others and works for the benefit of others is a good person, a virtuous person.
Teni perda zokbachimbo gomgo re sonore terina ta zokbachimbo kare gomgo re zena teni ta nga so montani lojong shine teni gomgita teni shangchim ku sem gomgo re son ta shangchim ku sem kare gomgo zena teni yang ker lojong shine gomyata ta so tola teni mambuz yorendi to kapsarana deni ndordi pashine sonores.
So tonight we've looked at some abbreviated points for our practice, for Dharmic practice. We started with the importance of meditation on Dzogchen and then went on to bodhicitta practice, because we haven't had enough time to go into detail, though, of course, about what each of these practices concretely involve. These are things to which we need to commit much further study.
Tani nda mabjid lotsu nam soni tani tanda jinyang mari soni lan ni la soni orisi mabjid se jinyang mari gang jinyang mari zena ngaso jiang ton drya te jinyang mari jiang gi ton drna te randun drpi tsawa yimba te jinyang mari soni tamate soni orisi.
So the final verse begins with the line, "Be sure not to forget this." In actual fact, in the Tibetan, it says, "Don't forget this, don't forget this." So it's repeated 2 times. And what students are being urged not to forget is the point about doing action that is beneficial for others, and particularly the point that even if one is oriented towards one's own benefit, the best way for doing this is still to engage in behavior that's beneficial for others.
Tani ti jila tani ngaso mo yakboshia korla tets songyoate tani ngaso bok tani kanshut ta tani ti charge kanshut ka charge korla tani songbare tani te par gigi shini shanna tani te la tani lukki tamju zini tani tamju mambo yore divjana tan sores.
So the advice that we have about being a good ethical person at the end of this teaching is something that there are many kinds of texts on in the Tibetan tradition, and this is what we find at the end of this text.
Tenita ngaso kongla ti tamju kharanga nangtun ti joshati so teres tini changma nyamlin yakpo chege yoreta ti nyamlin kartin dinang tartushini ngaso kongla shapa simbo ti nyamlin yakpo shi ti tola ngaso namjin chowa ga nangla tani lega ga nangla mojan la pamba yakpo dune dena tani ngaso chudan jikti nika ti tinangla tini ndrogres nika ti ndrogres.
So if everyone is able to attend to these 3 points of practice, and as well in their everyday worldly lives engage in behavior that benefits others, then we will be able to bring together both our worldly lives and our Dharma practice in a complementary way. And the final verse of this Doha is a dedication of merit. And so the merit of the words of this text, may they be dedicated to delivering all beings from samsara and enabling them to be reborn in the Western pure realm.
Teni lama yujino teni nyungni teni ta yerambo teni nyungni teni nyungji yara chakbi kapsa teni somba teni res.
And then at the end of the Tibetan version, there is a line that records how this text, this song, was composed by Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok after a period of long illness, and he composed this song after he had been cured.
So
that brings to a close this evening's teaching. And I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone.
Lasso, teni, tsamaga nyamlin, yabo jerochi.
Thank you, everybody. May you all practice well.
Teni jima tarung karte korkobyo na teni ngatso yangkir, yang tsamala ngatso chutushayanda teni yang jima kale yungore.
And I hope that in the future we have the opportunity to come together again for another teaching.
Teni ngatso so yerimbochi lo matso da penyamli yabo jeore te montani te tindushina teni jikje teni ngatso bobatso yang teni ji lojo yabo chia da nangchula lojo yabo chia teni kala kansam suso rangrang da karwa dang chambi goni teni nyamlin sia te chutola ngatso bobatso yang teni harchun shegore jigna shegore rete da ngatso bobatso na teni sachan dindizla sarg teni lewong kaps yang ji lojong dan de sola chakin jugman de teni mambo yong rete yena da ngatso deni na teni rupa chuso na la teni deni ngatso japkir yakbo teni nang de te na chakin pe yabor jindu teni bobatso yang shig jamne teni yabo nyamlin da de so narona.
So Rigpa students are good, working well on their practice, and I hope that they continue to work diligently on their practice and achieve good results. At the same time, the Tibetans who are here this evening, it's my hope that you are able to work on studying the Dharma and engaging in some level of practice, even though it's difficult as new people are coming to a new place to find the conditions to study the Dharma and to engage in practice. Here at Rigpa there is such excellent support from the center, so I hope that everyone is able to make the most of it.
Tani te ji che tsamala trashi de leje.
Thank you and Rashi Dele to everybody.
Yeah.